traveled all over. You've gone to meeting after meeting. You've visited with people, and you've tried and tried. This is your time. You're going to make it this time. Debbie and I feel that. We're excited for you. Closer to the mic. No.
Oh, you're good.
Sing like you was. Did you guys all hear what I said about Jim? There were a few nice words. All right. We really are excited about his run this time. We had the opportunity to have an event at our home 2 years ago. We're excited to have it here in downtown Mankato. And it isn't raining. So I think good things. We feel real good, and we're happy to support you. And we hope everyone here and a lot more can do the same thing. So with that, I'd like to introduce Jennifer Carnahan. Now, a little story about Jennifer. Where are you, Jennifer? I'm looking. Oh, there she is. That's kind of weird when you're on stage. Jennifer, I was like, I don't know, Tuesday night at 10 o'clock last week, I was told that maybe I could call her because my son Dane and his friend Tyler True were interested in going to the Trump event in Duluth. And that was on Wednesday. So Jennifer, kind of like the director of the Republican Party for the state of Minnesota, I call her, I don't know her, I call her at 10 o'clock at night. She answers her phone, greets me, nice. I said, Jennifer, any chance I could get VIP tickets? Because I knew getting into that event might be hard, even in Duluth. Jennifer got us VIP tickets. And the four of us flew up, and you know, I have my concerns about our president, but it was fun to go see him in action. More of all is just the energy that is around him is unbelievable. Trying to understand all that energy, it was great. And it was a fun experience, and thank you, Jennifer, for that. And with that, I'd like to now introduce Jennifer Carnahan.
Everybody. I'm excited to be down here with all of you on behalf of Jim Hagedorn running for Congress in southern Minnesota. I just want to start out with a couple of things. So Jim has been running for a couple of cycles, and he has worked incredibly hard, put his heart and soul and his life on the line to be a conservative reinforcement for President Trump in the White House. And he's been working so hard, in fact, that in 2016, President Trump was plus 15 points in this district, and Jim came within 0.4% of knocking off Tim Walz and sending him home. And while Jim may not have knocked off Tim Walz in that election, he did knock off Tim Walz because he's not running again for Congress. It's an open seat, and this congressional seat in the state of Minnesota, right here, Congressional District 1, represents the biggest pickup opportunity in the entire country for national Republicans in Congress. And that's because of all of you that get out and work on behalf of the candidates and all the work that Jim and his team did in 2016 to push Walz out of the race and put this seat into play. So I'll just quickly say, at the state party, we are 100% behind Jim. We're 100% behind all of our candidates and our opportunities to elect Republicans in November. We've made 100,000 plus direct voter contacts, and it's not even July 1st. No, that's why. But I want to introduce really quickly to Joe. He is our Regional Field Director in Congressional District 1 over in Mankato on this side of the district, and his sole responsibility is to help recruit people to help us get out and knock on the doors and make those phone calls so that we can turn out Republicans in this election to vote down the ballot and make sure we bring this red tsunami into Minnesota and shut those Democrats down. Because this is our time to make Minnesota red. So if you haven't had a chance to speak with Joe, please do before the night's over. But with that, we're all here tonight to hear from Jim. So Jim, your future congressman.
Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Jennifer, thank you for the introduction and all the wonderful things you brought to my life. I really appreciate that. And Kurt Fisher and Debbie, thank you for hosting. Unique reception this is really cool with your son, and of course the wonderful entertainment by your future daughter. Right? Very nice. Wasn't she great? And also to our hosts, thank my friend Paul Fitzsimmons, who's here tonight. Paul, thank you for hosting. John Royce, where they are one of our great supporters. And then Andy Johnson. Is Andy Johnson still here? Or is he out suing somebody? What's going on? I guess he's out suing somebody. I don't see him right now. So thanks to our hosts, everybody, for being here. Just real quick, we got a couple other candidates, legislators in the audience. I'd like to first recognize our campaign manager, Dave Fitzsimmons, former state representative. Where are you, Dave? Back there. Dave's back in the district. He's taking leave from Tom Emmer's office to come down here and help us close this deal out. Howard Swenson. Howard, where are you? Former state representative Swenson from the Nicollet area. Howard, the great American. Two candidates running for office that are with us tonight. Local candidates. Kim Spears. Kim Spears, who ran against Buck Johnson last time, came very close. Listen to this story. So Kim Spears has run twice in a row before this. He's going for his third time in a row on the ballot. He came very close to beating the incumbent last time, and then the incumbent quit. I don't know how you can make that stuff up, Kim, but by golly, you're going to get it done too. And then our friend Joe Stack from right here in Mankato running against Mr. Considine, one of the most liberal people in the State House, Considine, and Joe's going to get it done. He's a hard worker. Editor of the Mankato Times newspaper, online newspaper, well respected, well known around here. So all my friends with the Republican Party and everything else, thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting us. Did I overlook anybody who was elected or running for some office here? Well, if so, we'll give it to you in a little bit. In that last election, it's true, we had 49.6% of the vote. We came that close to beating an entrenched liberal congressman, something that's very difficult to do. There were 170 Democrats running for re-election to the U.S. House in 2016. Of those 170 Democrats, only one lost, a guy named Ashford down in Nebraska. He was a freshman Democrat, probably shouldn't have been there to begin with in a Republican district. After that, a guy named Stuart Mills and I ran the exact same race. We both had 49.6%. We came that close to knocking him off. It's never easy to beat an incumbent congressman, and that's why we always work so hard at it and went full time. But I have to tell you, we wanted to win. It was a victory we really wanted. We thought we could help the country an enormous amount by knocking out Walz and replacing him with a conservative. And as close as it was, and that went all the way into 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning before they settled that. I woke up the next day a happy guy. Now this is where I stop the story because I've got a little bit extra time. And to say, I woke up a happy guy for one reason, we'll get to that. I also woke up to keep somebody who was very concerned that morning. Because our friend Doug Hitzman, where's Doug? Is he here? Might have taken off, didn't want to hear. Oh, there he is, there's Doug. Doug was our treasurer for many years. And the night of the election, he was feeling some chest pains, even before the results came in. They took him to the hospital for some precautions. The next morning, they realized Doug had suffered a heart attack. And thank goodness, Doug, you're here to help us fight another day, and we're just really, really, really happy to see you and win. So, with that out of the way and Doug back to good health, we can start the story again. I woke up the next day a happy American. And I woke up a happy American for a simple reason. Our race for Congress, as important as it was, wasn't the most important one on the ballot. The most important race on the election on that night was for President of the United States. Because if Donald J. Trump had not won that election, for all intents and purposes, we would have lost the United States the way the forefathers put it together. Think about it, and this is pretty timely considering what happened just yesterday. Had Hillary Clinton won that election, she would have stacked the Supreme Court with radicals who would have forever undermined our way of life, who would have taken away our basic liberties and basically nullified everything we wanted to do from that point forward. They'd be looking at a 6-3 margin right now if Hillary Clinton won that race. So it wasn't meant to be. The president's out there, he's making gains. He just needs reinforcements, as Jennifer said, and that's what we're going to do. Now, so, you know, when you look at this race, we've always tried to say the best thing for us is to have a clear contrast, because the Democrats always want to tell you, hey, we're all the same, but I'm a better person than him, vote for me. But in this race, the Democrats are doing us a big favor. They're going around the country, and they're making it easy for people to see the differences. And if you thought it was easy before yesterday, wait until they get going on this whole Supreme Court thing over the next 2 or 3 months. It's going to be even easier. But we have a guy who's running against us named Dan Fian. Seems like a nice enough guy, but he's way to the left of Tim Walz. And you can say what you want about Tim Walz, but he understood how to run for Congress here. He knew there were certain positions he couldn't take. There were certain areas he couldn't wade into that would be death for him as far as getting reelected. Tim was never for single-payer medicine. He always said he'd have to check with the Mayo Clinic and get back to the reporters. He never got back to anyone because he knew that wouldn't fly. Tim always wanted the NRA's endorsement because he knew that way he'd at least have some deflection to say that maybe he wasn't the most liberal guy in the world. Look, he's got the NRA endorsement and so forth. Well, this guy that the Democrats sent out from Washington, and truly they did, Dan Fian never lived one day in this congressional district, the 21 counties of our district, until they sent him out from Washington as part of the resistance to try to take this seat over when Tim Walz quit. He is way to the left of Walz. He doesn't want the NRA's endorsement. He wants to fight the NRA. He wants gun control. The guy has said that we should look at foreign countries to see how they've handled firearms issues. My friends, you know, Australia tried to confiscate weapons. Places in Europe only allow law enforcement to hold them. We don't need any of that. We have the Second Amendment, we have the U.S. Constitution, and we're going to defend them and defend your right to keep and bear arms. And then when you get into single-payer, universal health care, I don't know if he realizes it or not, but the Mayo Clinic, Rochester, depends on private medical care. So do we all for the best medical care system in the world. And I can go on with issue after issue after issue where he's way to the left of Walz. I tell people it's like Reagan said about Mondale in that famous debate. After that debate, he said, Walter Mondale so far left, he's left America. That's how far some of these Democrats are, and we're seeing that across the board. You know, we've had really good success, a lot of campaign momentum since our close election in 2016. People forget that this race for Congress, it began the day after the last election, and that's the way we approached it. We've been out there, we've raised the most amount of money so far in the race. We have the most awesome organization of any congressional campaign in the country, led by, on the ground, people like Kyle and Aaron and Derek, and the rest of them are young Republicans. Becca, where's Becca? All those who get around the district, we're going to love shaking hands with you all summer long. And then we have incredible Republicans at the national, state, local level behind us. People like Congressman Tom Emmer out there in Washington. People like Rudy Boschwitz, the icon of the Republican Party. Folks like Gil Gutnick, who used to hold the seat before us. And then across this district, 6 state senators, 8 state representatives, including Jeremy Munson from local, Julie Rosen, Bob Gunther, Rich Drahan, good people like that. And then across the district, all sorts of activists and officials of the Republican Party. And we appreciate all that support, and that's why we're going to win not just the primary in August, but the general election, because we're working together to get it all done. And lastly, I just sum up and say, you see what's going on in Washington. This truly is an opportunity to make great gains for our country. This is only the 3rd time in 100 years that Republicans have been given all the keys to the cars in Washington, D.C., the House, the Senate, and the White House. This is only really the 3rd time in our lifetimes when we've had a chance to make true conservative change that will be lasting change for our country. We did it under Ronald Reagan, we did it under Newt Gingrich, and now we have to do it under Donald J. Trump. And if we make the big, bold moves that are needed, we can give our country another 20 or 30 years of life, just like Reagan and the Republicans did in the 1980s. That's the task at hand. That's the grand challenge. That's the opportunity. And because of you and all you're doing for our campaign and all the support that we have working together, we're going to win and we're going to defend the United States of America. Thanks very much. I guess I'd open it up for any questions if anybody had some questions for any of the legislative candidates or Jennifer or myself. Or we can just go back to enjoying ourselves. Which would you? All right, let's go back to enjoying ourselves. Thank you.
I was hoping more help like that.
Yeah.
Nope.